Hello and welcome to the Domestic Workers Chronicles. By now you know who I am. I'm Lindiwe Shibambo Kalashnikova, Mafavoga, the game changer, the one who started it all. I'm a CEO, MD, franchisor, business strategist, business manager, anything and everything in between for Made for You. I've been doing this thing from 2008. I'm a former domestic worker and now an entrepreneur, and I am busy empowering about 34 women to own a similar business through the micro franchising. So if you're interested, please holla, like us, subscribe, we'll give you the info. Today, guys, we are continuing on how to spot a good domestic worker. So if it's your first time on this channel, please like, subscribe, send us messages, send us any topics that you want to suggest that we can talk about. If you have a story to share, please let us know. Me and my crew will come and get you and we shall talk. Right. So today, people said I must continue on this topic, and I promise that I'm going to speak about the not so attractive domestic workers, people that I would say do not hire. Yeah, do not hire. Right. So in the previous episodes, we spoke about how to then spot a good domestic worker. And just to quickly recap, we said if you invited her to meet her, and please meet her in a mall or public space, she will be on time. If she's late, she will report. The day before the interview or the chat or the conversation you're going to have with her about the position, she will make sure that she knows the mall or she understands how to get there. So you're not going to get last minute things to say, I don't know the mall. I am sitting at Bosman Street and when I invite you interview ko Midrand ko Midrand Boulevard what or you know, and she's now in Pretoria ko Bosman or ko Marabastad. Now go, you are sitting there, you also Umonakong and she's not there, so that one you don't hire. We also spoke about their personalities in terms of how they will greet your family, how they'll greet the babies, how they'll greet you. We spoke about their outfit. It needs to be clean, it needs to be neat, it shouldn't be too revealing. I prefer domestic worker who's like me, because I mean we are working with food and we're working with babies, so we like to cover up. I mean domestic worker is a cleaning and hygiene space, so therefore cleanliness is the #1 rule, right? So we spoke about those elements, and guys, there are so many elements that we can talk about in terms of identifying a good domestic worker. We spoke about someone who's not going to finish the sentences for you whilst you're asking them questions. We spoke about avoid people that would interject when you are speaking before you finish talking. So today we're going to jump right onto it and speak about the ones that you shouldn't hire. You shouldn't hire these domestic workers, guys, right? So let's say you have set up that interview thing or the chat in the mall and they're coming one by one. You're looking at how they are greeting, you're looking at the outfit, you're looking at how they are sitting, you know, you're checking the nails, you're checking these things that we gave you tips on, and you're talking to them. So auntie, tell me about where were you working before, and auntie tells you. Let me tell you, domestic workers you need to avoid. #1 is the domestic worker that is going to start the conversation by telling you about her problems. The one that's going to walk in there and tell you about her personal problem and the struggle that she went through before she came to meet you, how she walked the long walk to freedom from Robben Island to come and meet you. No, because this is the type of woman that for the rest of that relationship you have with her forever, that's the foundation of the relationship. She's going to tell you her problems, you're going to throw money and sympathy and pity on that thing. Money, sympathy, pity on that thing, because that is the foundation. So when she starts telling you, "Horiyo, nice to meet you," let me tell you, you know, before ke tlamo ne ke sena tšhelete ya ho namela. And then kaya ko mama Ria ka mo next door, mama Ria ampha 50 ranta, ha fetsa kaya ko ntate Molepo ka mo opposite, ntate Molepo ampha 50 ranta, ngwana ka he ke mo founela yena a sa arabe phone. So wa itse gore ke fihle le hona bana ho mpona ke le so a ke na le tšhelete ya ho wella ko morago. No, right? You didn't ask about those issues. You are not at a level where you are in a relationship with this person where they can start telling you these stories about their personal issues and their long walk to freedom to come meet you in the mall, right? So that is a person that you don't want to hire, because now the foundation is already cracked. Actually, there is no foundation. The second person that you should have, the second element of do not hire this person, it's someone who's going to ask you for a loan before you even start. She's going to tell you, I didn't have transport money, please borrow me this my brother, that. So this person's personality is that of, actually, yeah, it's a victim mentality. So they come there to be victims so that you can feel sorry for them and give them money, and they play on your guilt. And I must talk about, I mean, this is South Africa, we're so diverse. We've got white people, black people, colored, Indians, whatever. And there is something called white guilt. And white guilt is something that I thought doesn't exist, you know, after democracy. But let me tell you, it exists. And domestic workers can play that card very nicely. So they know this one is white. So therefore the mentality is that this white employer, so before I'm going to start talking about my personal issues and whatnot and whatnot. And the white employer feels like, oh my God, and we stole the land. Ish, let me just give her. So, and let me just hire her. So you are hiring this person not because she's competent, she's got the skills, she's got the personality that you want, but out of guilt, out of sympathy, out of a very sob story. Do not hire a person like that. That is a victim, and for the rest of her life while she's working for you, she's going to be a victim, and ultimately she's going to go to CCMA and open a case against you and become a victim there, and you will pay for 6 months' salary. Right? Do not hire a person like that. Now, also, the people that you should not hire, it's domestic workers that you say, where have you worked before? And she tells you, oh, I worked for Madam Lindiwe. She was so horrible. You know, those ones that will tell you bad stories about all the employers they worked for. And Bona, they were never wrong, not once. They were never wrong, they did nothing wrong. But you see, Madam van der Merwe was horrible. She was counting the sugar and the salt and the vinegar. And then Madam Lindiwe did not want me to take the milk out of the fridge and take it home. She was horrible, she was horrible, she did this to me. And then Madam, I don't know, Maposa. So all the people that they worked for did something wrong to them, and they are the most horrible people. But she is the victim in this whole thing. She is the nice one. She doesn't know why they did this to her. And the last one now, it was even worse. She'll tell you the last one even took my clothes and threw them in the street. She was horrible. She was, I'm going to take her to CCMA. Listen, all of us in life have met horrible people. That is a fact. We met horrible people, we met evil people, we did what? But we don't carry that in our spirits and make a topic about it and give too much energy to that negativity. So you don't go and you want to be employed. I remember when I left, I worked for a bank, and I was going to the stock exchange, and they were asking me, why do you want to leave your current employer? Oh, I said positive things about them. First of all, I said, listen, the bank I work for gave me an academic bursary to become an equity investor. So I love them to bits. But now I've got a child and I've got this, I've got more responsibilities, and financially they are not in a position to increase my salary. But if I had a choice to stay, I would stay, right? I never spoke about the horror and the ugly that was there, right? I felt that is not what I'm going to carry in my spirit. Let me speak positive about these people so that I walk into this new job with a positive spirit and a positive vibe. So, and I'm not saying that, you know, people should not share their horror stories, but when you are about to hire someone and they're already telling you about their horror story, that is scary. Because remember, you're going to be part of the statistics of the horrible bosses that she worked for. So do not hire someone like that, right? And another person you shouldn't hire is that worker that you say, can you give me 3 to 1 references? And they want to give you their pasta not the Italian food, but the guy who preaches in church like Bushiri, that kind of pasta. They want to give you their pastor's contacts, and they want to give you their friend contact, and they want to give you their cousin's contact. No, no, no. You've worked before. You worked as a domestic worker or a cleaner or a retail person or wherever. Can we not have 2, 3, or at least one person that can say one positive thing about you, right? So a person who's going to be dilly-dallying and playing games of, I think their phones are not working. And the last time I phoned this one, she moved to Mafikeng. And this one, you know, uko Cape Town. The other ones, but go Germany. Hey, I don't have. And this person is like 50 or 40. And she is not a single person she worked for, full-time or part-time, who can say something positive about them. Stay away, right? Another aspect that we need to look at, and people that you must avoid as domestic workers, people are gonna not like me for this one. People are not gonna like me for this one, but I'm going to be honest with you. I am not turned on by a domestic worker who has more than 2 cases at CCMA. I am really not turned on by that domestic worker. Because I had formed part of the CCMA task team in Pretoria, where we were reviewing domestic workers' cases. And I think the intention of the committee was, how can we arbitrate, how can we find solutions? Because some of the CCMA cases really did not need to be there. If there was somebody who can mitigate and make sure that these people can solve their problem, it doesn't need to take up the time of the commissioner. And there were cases that were so, like, you feel like, what is happening? And you're gonna give me more time for this because I need to tell this story. There was a domestic worker that worked for a company, for a family, a household in Sandton. So these couple owned a couple of businesses. So at times she will go and help them with the cleaners in the offices and help them clean if she's not busy in the house. And she'll be paid different for that. And she works in the house and she gets her fixed salary for that. And the family needed to move overseas. And the family said, because we are moving because we are filing for bankruptcy, meaning that our businesses are not doing well anymore. So we don't have huge pension funds or monies that we can give you. It is our fault that we did not put money aside for you. But you've worked for us for about 5-6 years. So what we are offering you is this. Number 1, the house in the Golf Estate, we're giving it to you. Hello. Number 2, we've got 2 cars, which is like these big cars. I don't want to, say brands, but really big cars, German-made cars. So we're going to also give you these 2 cars, right? And we have a smaller house that we're renting in 4 ways. It's a townhouse. We also want to give you that. The value of these things is so many millions. Thank you so much. You've been so committed and what to us. So we get our lawyers to draw everything, title deeds, everything gets moved around. So it is yours. Domestic worker goes to the park, sit with other domestic workers. The domestic workers didn't say, what? We want the Zach. No, CCMA. These people stole land. They are lying to you. Hey, in influence, and that was one of the painful cases I've ever attended because the madam cried. She cried because the madam, and this one takes what's her name? She takes the madam to CMA, and the madam says, no, over and above the houses and the townhouse and the 2 cars, her children, we took them to school. We are continuing to take 4 of her children to school. They pay school, they go to private schools. We pay January the full fee for all 4 of her children. And we are saying to Auntie, what do you want? I want money, I want money, I want money. Do you understand the value of these things? No, my friend said, my friend said, my friend said. So now that relationship was cracked. It was a mess because of something so beautiful that the employer wanted to do. And external influences from Bomme Babang in the park, right? So I'm turned off by a domestic worker who has more than 2 cases at CCMA, because to me the impression is that she listens to other people saying, go to CMA, and when you get there they're going to give you 100,000, million, 5 million, 7 million, and she rushes there, and this is her thing, this is her MO, this is her weapon, right? I respect a domestic worker that will sit and say, madam, I'm not happy with 1, 2, 3, can we discuss? Even if she sends a WhatsApp. I know we've got certain people that are introvert, that are not confrontational, that do not want to address issues. But if you're going to meet a potential worker for your house, for your children, who's going to take care of your assets, your furniture, your everything, you need to assess. And please, you are well within your rights to ask, when Auntie Maria, have you been to the CMA bargaining court? Do you have any court issues? Do you have any issues that you had with previous employers? And you can contact us. As I told you, we have thorough background check systems. So we can check for you if she wants to lie. But I am turned off by that. And I know some people will take offense to say, but Lindiwe, what if she worked for employers that are not nice and what and what? I feel like there are other ways that you can address the issue instead of back and forth CCMA cases and things like that. But I'm open to your views and your opinions. I'm opening a can of worms. So let's open it and let's talk. So thank you so much, guys. We are going to continue in our other topics to talk about everything domestic workers. Good ones, bad ones, horror stories, ugly stories, so forth and so on. And the next topic we're going to talk about abuse of domestic workers and employers of domestic workers. Thank you for joining. Subscribe and like my channel.